Okay, picture this. What if you could build a real, fully functional app? One that actually makes money, just by describing what you want it to do. In plain English. No coding, I know. It sounds like science fiction, right? Well, it's not anymore. It's called vibe coding, and it's completely changing who gets to build the future.
So where did this term even come from? It popped up in a now famous tweet by Andrej Karpathy. And listen, this isn't just some random guy on the internet. Karpathy is a co-founder of OpenAI and was the former head of AI at Tesla. So when someone like him says you can forget that the code even exists, you should probably pay attention. It's a signal that something big is happening.
And we're not just talking about little side projects here. This number? That's the annual recurring revenue a solo entrepreneur made from a flight simulator he built with vibe coding. And get this, he had absolutely zero game development experience, and he built the whole thing in just 17 days. That's the kind of speed and scale we're talking about. It's wild.
The revolution isn't coming. It's already here. You know Y Combinator, right? The world's top startup accelerator? Well, a full quarter of their new startups have code bases that are 95% generated by AI. This isn't some niche, quirky trend. It's quickly becoming the new normal for how you build a company from scratch.
So what does this revolution actually look like in practice? Well, it's a massive shift in power, really. It moves from the people who can write perfect code to the people who have a clear, powerful vision.
Let's break down what vibe coding actually is. Basically, you tell an AI chatbot what you want to build. It spits out the code. And here's the key. You don't look at the code. Seriously, you just look at the final product. You test the app, see if it works like you imagined, and if it doesn't, you just go back to the AI and say, hey, fix this.
And this is where the big mindset shift happens. Traditional coding is all about syntax and logic, getting every single semicolon right. But vibe coding? It's all about the outcome. You stop being the mechanic, meticulously building the engine piece by piece. Now you're the director. You're just describing the destination you want to reach and letting the AI drive.
Okay, so let's get practical. How does this actually work? How does someone who's not a programmer take an idea out of their head and turn it into a real, working app on a screen?
This really hits the nail on the head. The old way was all about the how. You had to think, okay, what's the specific JavaScript for this button? The new way is all about the what. You just say, I want a button that saves user preferences. You don't need to know how a database works anymore. You just need to be able to clearly ask for the information you want. Your most important skill is no longer technical, it's communication.
And this is absolutely crucial. When the AI handles all the technical grunt work, what makes you stand out? Well, it comes down to your product vision and how well you understand your users. Your advantage isn't writing better code. It's understanding your customers' pain points better than anyone else and being able to whip up solutions incredibly fast.
Now, I know this all sounds amazing, almost too good to be true. And you know what they say about that, right? Because, yeah, there's a huge catch. All this incredible speed and power comes with a pretty serious dark side that nobody really talks about. All right, let's pull back the curtain and talk about the hidden dangers of vibe coding. Because if you jump into this without knowing the risks, you're not just building a product. You could be building a catastrophe just waiting to happen.
This number? This should make you pause. Research has found that nearly half of all tasks where developers use AI help actually introduce critical security flaws. Think about that. The AI is programmed to make something work, not necessarily to make it safe.
To see how real this is, just look at what happened with a company called Replit. The founder proudly announced he built his entire business with zero handwritten code. But within days, it was chaos. Users were just waltzing past his paywall. His systems were being abused, and his database was getting flooded with junk. The security holes were so massive, so fundamental, he had to shut the entire business down. For good.
And these are the usual suspects. The AI often forgets to double-check things on the server side, which is a huge no-no. It might even hard-code your secret API keys right into the code for everyone to see. That's basically like leaving your house keys taped to your front door. It just creates these huge, glaring security holes that can sink your entire project. This quote from Kin Lane brings up a really important concept called technical debt. Just think of it like this. You build a house really fast on a shaky foundation. It looks fine for a little while, but every time you try to add a new floor, the whole thing gets more and more unstable. Vibe coding can create this debt at an unbelievable speed, making your app almost impossible to fix or update down the line until it just collapses.
Okay, I know that was the scary part, but it's not a reason to run away from these tools. It's a reason to be smart.
So here's the playbook for how to use vibe coding safely and effectively.
The trick is to have a structured process. First, you define your vision and pick your tech stack. Then, and this is so important, you build in small testable increments. Don't ask the AI to build you a car. Ask it for a wheel. Test the wheel. Then ask for an axle. You have to use version control. Think of it like saving your game, so you can always go back if something breaks. You test everything, and only then do you deploy it for real users.
And please, tattoo these 3 rules on your brain. Rule number 1, if you are handling anything sensitive, payments, health info, anything, you must get a professional human to review that code. No exceptions. Rule number 2, always verify what a user does on the server. Never trust what the browser tells you. And rule number 3, for God's sake, do not let the AI build your login system from scratch. Use trusted services that have already figured this stuff out.
So now that we know the incredible potential and the serious dangers, how do you actually get started? Right now, let's walk through your action plan. Here's a super clear roadmap. Start small. In week 1, just find a free Vibe Coding 101 course and build something tiny, like a calculator for yourself. Week 2, build a simple little app that solves a problem you actually have. The goal here is just to get the feel for it. Then, by the 2nd month, you'll be ready to tackle something bigger and start getting feedback from real people.
Look, at the end of the day, vibe coding has kicked the door wide open for a whole new generation of creators. For the first time ever, a great idea is pretty much all you need to get going. But the big question you have to keep asking yourself is this. With all this incredible power at your fingertips, are you building a brilliant prototype? Or are you building a hidden liability? The choice is yours.